Welcome back to City Avalanche Racing Lanes. I'm your host, Casey Abernathy. Joining me once again is Ricky Little.
Today we have the final group, Group 4 of Team Alpha, competing for the final 2 spots in the team semifinals.
Let's take a closer look at today's competitors.
Up first, Chen Wei Ling, driving the 34-gram Volvo P1800 gasser, which seems to be better suited for the drag strip than an open road track.
Geoff Capes is driving the 35-gram 1970 Ford Escort. He qualified 5th.
In what appears to be an attempt to dethrone Brian Shaw with the least race-appropriate work truck, qualifying 12th in the 38-gram flower delivery Ford Transit Connect, Iris Kyle.
And finally, Bill Casimir will be driving the 30-gram Porsche 914 Safari, having qualified 13th. For race 1, Chen Wei Ling and Geoff Capes are in the front row, Iris Kyle and Bill Casimir in the back. Chen Wei Ling taking an early lead, but then Geoff Capes pulling ahead out of the divided lanes. Chen Wei Ling losing it by turn 6. Geoff Capes clipping a light pole and taking out a seemingly occupied porta potty.
Well, there's something new in every group. Not so new, drivers camping out next to the landing pad ramp.
It was thoughtful of Geoff Capes to check on the condition of the porta potty occupant, down by turn 9.
As we take a closer look at the replay, we see Geoff actually ricochet backwards off the light pole to launch the porta potty, and then he follows it down.
Do you think he recognized the scream of the person inside?
Casey, how many relationships do you have that you would recognize the sound of them screaming inside of a porta potty as it is launched off of a cliff?
Maybe 2?
2?
Okay, if I really think about it, 3. As we restart race 1, Chen Wei Ling and Geoff Capes are still in the front row. Iris Kyle immediately getting left way behind. Geoff Capes pulling ahead as they head into turn 5. Chen Wei Ling losing it at turn 6. Geoff Capes holding it together as he appears to be all alone. Then he pinballs it next to the gravity well and flings himself gracefully off of the cliff at turn 11.
That is the second time in a row he's made a jump for it. I'm beginning to think he's got some kind of death wish.
Well, you know what they say about thrill seekers?
What?
I'm asking you.
Maybe we can ask Geoff Capes after he miraculously returns to the start gate.
It is still technically the first race.
Bill Casimir appears to be more interested in practicing his hide-and-seek skills rather than making it anywhere close to the finish line.
Iris Kyle more interested in putting as much fear as possible into whoever is in that porta potty this time.
We're beginning to see a downside to short wheelbase cars like the Escort. They have an uncanny ability to keep rolling once they get started.
But you have to admit, he looks good doing it.
And how many points has looking good doing it gotten him so far today? 0. 0 points for looking good while jumping off of a cliff. Twice.
Well, if the third time's the charm, maybe Geoff will roll himself past the finish line this time. grouping as they prepare to enter the danger zone.
Some might say too tight of a grouping.
Let's not say anything and just move right into the 4th restart for race 1. Crashing coming out of the divided lanes.
Joff and Bill losing it shortly after.
Iris taking a moment to check on Chen.
And Bill Casimir taking a moment to, I hope, ask for directions. Don't be a weirdo, Bill.
Perhaps the 5th time is the charm? Or not. Chen doing a high-speed J-turn before even getting to turn 5. Apparently in preparation to push Joff Capes down to this group's favorite spot, the Portapotties at turn 7.
Iris Kyle taking another turn at terrifying the Portapotty occupants. I can see it shaking in terror from here.
Bill Casimir stepping up his hide-and-seek game next to the hangar outbuilding.
I'm beginning to think Chen ramming Joff was premeditated. Turning around allowed him to use maximum force without damaging that huge engine or those super skinny front wheels. Iris, on the other hand, appears to be giving no thought at all to participating in this race. She just sees what everyone else is doing and then does whatever she wants.
And clearly she just wants to drive really, really slow and then terrorize people in porta-potties. We have received word from the officials that if someone doesn't make it to the finish line this time, all 4 drivers will be given DNFs and will rotate the gate and move on to race 2. Going forward, drivers will only be allowed 1 restart per race before a quadruple DNF.
That sounds perfectly reasonable, unlike this race so far. It's in line with our qualifying rules and should help speed things up considerably.
Which we desperately need, because all 4 drivers again unable to make it past turn 6. Chen Ling turning his frustration against that defenseless starship.
So that's 0 points for all 4 drivers, and we move on to race 2.
Bill Casimir in the pole position this time, Chen Ling next to him, Joff Capes and Iris Kyle in the back row. Coming out of turn 2, it looks much like race 1, Joff Capes and Chen Ling pulling ahead. But Chen loses it before turn 6. Joff Capes and Bill Casimir still in it. Joff Capes flying down the track. Past the finish line, and...
Well, that's never happened before.
Oh no.
What's wrong?
They told us to stay out of the tunnel. Nothing else matters. Just stay out of the tunnel. Look out! An impressive time, too. 26.861 seconds. Joff Cape's finally putting some points on the board.
And it only took him 7 attempts. We should have implemented that quadruple DNF rule 5 runs ago.
Well, Randy, hindsight is 20/20. The important thing is that we're ready for the situation if it happens again.
If? You mean when? I think all 4 of these guys are agents of chaos at best.
And at worst?
Something just doesn't feel right. The gravity well, the sudden uptick in violence toward porta potties, it's all just weird, you know?
I'll tell you it's weird. Iris Kyle came out of turn 1 on her roof, blocking Joff Capes in the process. That leaves the track wide open for Bill Kazmaier and Chen Wei-Ling, both of whom finally seem interested in possibly finishing a race.
Chen definitely isn't going to finish if he keeps pulling stunts like that.
And will you look at that? Bill Kazmaier attempting to win the hide-and-seek competition he's been holding with himself by hiding in the one place he has never been seen, past the finish line.
That is the most believable statement I've heard all day.
That's 5 points for Bill Kazmaier and 5 for Joff Capes. If they can keep Iris and Chen away from the finish line, they've got a smooth ride to the semifinals.
Iris couldn't be further from the finish line if she tried. Adonis Creed went further on his roof than Iris made it on all 4 wheels for that race.
That is impressive in its own way.
A shameful way.
Perhaps she can redeem herself in race 4. She's got the outside front row, Joff Capes in the pole position. Joff Capes gaining a substantial lead. But he's lost it on turn 8. Chen Wei-Ling making his way around. And he will be the only driver across the finish line for race 4, resulting in
a 3-way tie. This group just never wants this day to end.
That, of course, means we'll need to have a tiebreaker race. Everyone but Iris will line up at the start. The next 2 drivers across the finish line will move on to the semifinals.
So this entire drawn-out event comes down to a single race, assuming more than one of these elite athletes can even make it past the finish line. My confidence is not high, considering what I've seen so far.
Keep your chin up, Randy. I think we've both seen enough to admit that we never really know what to expect. Joff Capes building on a sizable lead as he makes his way out of the divided lanes.
And will you look at that? One more get-together at the landing pad. Who could have possibly seen that coming?
In an effort to keep things moving, we've had them rotate for the restart this time. Looks like Bill couldn't make it past turn 6. Chen Wei-Ling takes out the porta potty for the 3rd time today.
Where did Chen go?
I'm not sure, but Joff Capes has gone past the finish line for the 2nd time today, securing his place in the semifinals.
The porta potty securing its place at turn 11.
And it looks like Chen Ling has won the hide-and-seek competition by tucking himself behind turn 9.
He seemed to be taking the traditional path, following the porta potty on its journey, but their paths diverged at the top of the turn.
It's down to this. The next driver to cross the finish line joins Joff Capes in the semifinals.
If they can possibly drag this out any further, I guarantee you they will find a way.
Chen starting off with a commanding lead.
Then he drops most of his speed showboating next to the hangar.
Bill Casimir has nearly closed the gap, but Chen starts pulling away again. Then he goes sideways down the last hill, ending with a 540 before Bill Casimir smashes him past the finish line. Then calmly executing a perfect parallel park next to the other drivers.
And that finally fills out the bracket for the semifinals. I guess since the audience has stuck around this long, I hope, we might as well let them see the whole lineup.
Up first in Group 1, Magnus Ver Magnusson, driving the Baja Bison T5. He qualified first, but was quickly outshined by our next semifinalist.
That is Anita Forchik in the blue 94 Audi Avant RS2. She showed a lot of grace and skill in our first event.
Also showing a lot of grace and skill in the brown 94 Audi Avant RS2, Abby Stockton. I'm excited to see those two go head-to-head.
I'm excited to see my boy Eddie Hall. He's driving the custom 69 Chevy, but most people will know him as the developer of the legendary Eddie's Roof Wax,
which was demonstrated most impressively by our first driver in the semifinal Group 2, Adonis Creed, who slid over 0.2 of a mile on his roof to win a race.
Jamie Reeves in the 22 Ford Maverick Custom impressed us with the most beautiful overpass jump I have ever seen.
Rounding out Group 2 from today's event, Chen Ling in the Volvo P1800 Gasser. I do not envy the chaos he will bring to the semifinalist Group 2.
And finally, possibly an agent of chaos from a different dimension, Joff Capes driving the 70 Ford Escort RS 1600.
Those are your Team Alpha semifinalists. For Randy Lincoln, I'm Casey Abernathy, reminding you to keep your head up and your foot down. And we'll see you next time at City Avalanche Racing Lanes.
At New Line.